This is my handheld rig for the Laowa 1.33x anamorphic adapter, featuring 3D printed parts and a RevoRing, all combining to make lens swaps easier, faster and more secure. Links to files and parts are in the description. Now this is not a review of the Laowa Anamorphic adapter, that's coming, it's in the works. This video is just about a rig I am building for a run and gun shoot that I'm prepping for. Getting our rig streamlined, functional and aligned takes a little bit of work as we try to resolve some of the issues surrounding DIY and adapter rig builds, like supporting your adapter or scope once it's attached to your taking lens. These things can be quite heavy, so you do want to protect your camera and your rig. Also keeping your scope aligned after lens swaps can be a pain. Making lens swaps faster and easier because it can be a bit annoying sometimes. And last but not least, well for me anyway, where am I going to attach my wireless follow focus? So here are my solutions for these 4 problems. First up is the FSL33, designed not only to support the adapter but remove the possibility of adapter rotating or coming loose during lens swaps. It fixes this by securing itself to the Laowa using 2 of the built-in thread mounts on the bottom of the adapter. Straight away, this feels way better and way more sturdy and way more secure. I'm not worried about it slipping or rotating or anything like that. Like what can happen with the single mounted support foot that's supplied in the box, which relies on using brute force to tighten and clamp anything down instead of a bit of precision using multiple mounting points. This is then attached to a 15mm rod clamp. This one is made by Smallrig. I chose this one because it has rounded edges, which I mount facing down on my rig. The rounded edges make it way more comfortable on my supporting hand when holding the rig. And also I swapped out the wing nuts for these circular types, so I don't have the wing nuts sticking into my hands and my fingers when I'm holding my camera rig. The FSL33 slots into the channel on the rod clamp, restricting the movement to just up and down, or removing any twist or rotation. I also added this little lip on the back, which helps with flexing in this direction a little bit. Next up is the MTL33, and this tackles my follow focus problem by hard mounting the follow focus to the Laowa itself using the threaded holes around the circumference. The reason for using the wireless follow focus is it means I can maintain a steady hand underneath my rig and keep it well balanced and not have to do the follow focus finger dance. You can put the motor mount almost anywhere you want around the adapter and not have to worry about the distance of your rods from the adapter, which also can lead to motor slippage. I want to talk about the final piece of the puzzle, which is the RevoRing. If you haven't heard of RevoRing, they are made by a company called HMY, and they are essentially a variable size step-up ring, so you can use your filters across many lenses and without having to have lots of step-up rings. Now, how it works is I attach it to the back of the Laowa using the 17mm thread mounts. The variable side can, this one anyway, the variable thread size can accommodate threads from 52 to 72. And to attach it, what you do is you rotate the ring, closing down the, I'll call it the iris, push it up against the lens and let it go, and it will mate, and the lens filter and the thread should create a light tight seal. And our powering the motor have this TiLTA WLC something. I'll put the name and the links are in the description anyway. That is mounted at the bottom of the rig, which also helps stability when I put the whole rig down. It's actually the second version of this part of the rig I started putting together. I originally had it like this, and the TiLTA WLC fits perfectly between the 15mm rod mounts, which gave the battery some protection and also looks really cool. I don't know if this was in pure coincidence or it was built to fit in space like this, but I opted out of this anyway, I went with this setup with the this vlogger base plate, because this setup made the rig, like I said, a little more steady when put down. And around my S5, I have a Zacuto cage. I tried a few, but this one went the best for me. It's really good, it's solid, and no issues with it at all. For monitoring, I prefer EVFs because I wear glasses, and I have a modified Portkeys EVF, which now has the Zacuto Z Finder mod. The clever mod was dreamt up by Thorsten, I won't pronounce his last name because I'll just butcher it. Adding the Zacuto optics makes a huge difference. It's like night and day. I will at some point go back and clean it up a little bit, but as soon as I got it working, there was no going back for me. I just started using it straight away. And for pulling focus, I've gone with a nano focus wheel attached to the top above the camera grip, which is actually surprisingly comfortable to pull focus on. Now, I hope that the MTL and the FSL are helpful to other users of the Laowa 1.33 anamorphic adapter. I did make them for myself, but I really hope that they can find a home in other people's rigs. If you did find any of this useful, please consider subscribing for other 3D printed anamorphic bits and pieces that I may produce in the future. And that's it from me. Stay special.